Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Matt.
And I am Karen. Today we are looking at a lesson called The 2026 World Cup Heats Up. We are talking about 2026 World Cup. I am so excited about the World Cup.
That's right, so am I. That's why I've worn, I've got my Team Canada jersey because I am pumped for the World Cup, and it's so great to get to watch so many exciting games in this World Cup.
That's right, and I know you are a big fan as well, right? So which team do you usually root for when you're watching the World Cup?
Canada.
Just Canada?
Canada usually, Canada hasn't been in, they were in the last World Cup. But before that, they weren't in the World Cup for most of my life.
Exactly.
So before the last World Cup, I usually rooted for Germany.
Oh, because Germany is also very, very good too.
Germany is a very good team. They've won the World Cup many times before. And one time when I was traveling in Germany, they had the World Cup there.
Ooh.
And I got to feel the atmosphere there with all of the crowds and all of the fans watching the games outside on big screens.
That's what I love about the World Cup. You kind of bring everybody together when you are supporting the same team, right? Yeah, well, I always root for Argentina. So fingers crossed, I hope they're going to win.
Are you not rooting for Canada this time?
Oh, no, I am. I do love Canada, but it's just, good luck Canada though. But yeah, I like Canada and also Argentina, so I am rooting for both.
Okay, well, I will be supporting Canada mostly this time unless they're out, and then I'll switch to Germany.
That's true, because you never know, right? Just because they have never won the World Cup doesn't mean that they never will. Okay, we'll see about that. Well, let's get into today's lesson and learn more about the World Cup.
Tim and Vanessa are talking about the 2026 World Cup.
Have you been following the World Cup news?
Yeah, there's so much tension and excitement. This one is really different from the previous tournaments.
Exactly. For starters, it's been hosted by 3 countries together. It's the first time in World Cup history.
Yeah, and aren't there 48 teams competing instead of the usual 32?
Right. More teams mean more matches and more chances for different countries to play. It's interesting to see unexpected teams shine and have their moment too.
Totally. I'm ready to keep watching and see how the rest of the matches play out.
Hello everyone. Today we are looking at a dialogue, and it's titled The 2026 World Cup Heats Up.
That's right. That means it's going to be very exciting. Everybody is getting really excited about it, right? All right. So we're discussing the World Cup, and we're looking at this dialogue between 2 characters today, Tim and Vanessa. So Tim and Vanessa are talking about the 2026 World Cup. So you will be talking for Tim, and I will be speaking for Vanessa.
Okay. So Tim says, have you been following the World Cup news?
So when you say, have you been following, that means have you been watching the games, right? And now Vanessa says, yeah, there's so much tension and excitement. This one is really different from the previous tournaments. And then Vanessa, I guess she's also a soccer fan. So she says, of course, and there's so much tension and excitement. So what does it mean when I say tension? So that's a noun. Tension is the feeling of stress or worry when you are nervous, or the tight pulling force on an object like a rope. But right here, we're describing like the feeling of, the tension that you feel between the, different teams and when you're watching the games, right? So you might feel like uncomfortable, uneasy in situations like that. Now, an example sentence would be, the tension before the game was clear. Everyone could sense it. Every team, all the players, and then everybody watching the game, there was so much tension.
And she said this one's different from previous World Cups. So previous is an adjective, which means the one that happened before this one now. So if we're talking about the previous month, that would be the same as last month, or the previous day is yesterday. So the previous World Cup means 4 years ago when there was a World Cup, and that's the last time it happened. So an example sentence, this winter is warmer than previous years.
So now what does Tim say?
Tim says, exactly. For starters, it's being hosted by 3 countries together. It's the first time in World Cup history.
That's right, and that is why it's different from previous tournaments, right? Because it has never been held in different countries, at least 3 different countries before,
that's right.
So I think it's United States, Canada, and also Mexico, right?
That's right, yeah.
Well, let's go over to Henny first, and we will be right back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一次的对话是关于2026世界杯。Tim 问 Vanessa 最近有没有关注世界杯的新闻 ？Vanessa 说有啊，这个气氛紧张又刺激。他们就聊到这一届跟前几届真的很不一样，这次是由3个国家共同举办的，那这在世界杯史上是头一遭。好，单字 tension 名词，它表示紧张、紧张关系或局势。Karen 老师在讲解时用到 uneasy， 它可以形容不安的、不自在的或拘束的。那么下一个单字 previous， 它是形容之前的、早先的。那我们接着回到对话中。
Thank you, Henny. And now we are back. Okay, let's go back to our dialogue. And now Vanessa says, yeah, and aren't there 48 teams competing instead of the usual 32? So not only, the fact that it's being hosted in 3 different countries, not only this part is different, but this year, actually we have more teams participating and competing because before we only have the usual 32 teams.
That's right.
But this year, we have 48.
Right, so more countries get to share in the excitement of cheering on their teams at the World Cup.
That's pretty fun.
So Tim says, right, more teams mean more matches and more chances for different countries to play. It's interesting to see unexpected teams shine and have their moment too.
That's true, because oftentimes maybe you feel like maybe a certain country has never won the World Cup before. You wouldn't expect them to win, but you never know. Those might be unexpected, right? And now Vanessa says, totally. I'm ready to keep watching and see how the rest of the matches play out. So she wants to watch the games and see the results of the games, right? It might be different. It might not just be the usual champions or the usual winners. There might be somebody out there, some teams out there. They might win too.
That's right. Everyone loves to watch when an exciting team that no one expected wins.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to Hanny.
Vanessa 他们接着聊到，这次世界杯也不是平常的32队，而是48队参赛。这意味着有更多比赛，也让不同国家有更多上场机会，就可以看到一些意想不到的球队大放异彩。文中是用动词 shine， 它原本是指闪耀发光，在这边引申指说表现出色、大放异彩。接回到对话中。
Thank you, Hanny. And now we are back. Okay, so far in our dialogue, we know that Vanessa and Tim are talking about the 2026 World Cup, and they're talking about how this year is so different from previous tournaments. We got more teams playing, and also it's being hosted in 3 different countries.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So there's a lot to talk about. And we're going to come back after this break with another dialogue between Tim and Vanessa. So we'll see you then.
Vanessa and Tim are discussing the teams they support.
So, which team are you supporting in the competition?
I always root for Argentina. I love their style of play, and my favorite player, Martinez, is amazing. Plus, Argentina has such a strong track record. What about you?
I'm cheering for France. The team has had lots of success on the international stage recently, so I want to see them win again.
They've done well in previous World Cups. Let's see if they keep it up.
There's lots of tough competition though. Brazil and Croatia usually do very well.
You're right, but either way, I will keep supporting my favorite.
Definitely. I don't want to miss a single minute of the games.
Welcome back, everyone. So before the break, we were looking at this dialogue between Tim and Vanessa, and they were talking about the 2026 World Cup. Now, this dialogue we're looking at right now, they're comparing favorite teams. So Tim and Vanessa are both talking about the teams that they are cheering on or also they are rooting for.
That's right. So Vanessa and Tim are discussing the teams they support. All right, so Karen will read for Vanessa and I will read for Tim.
All right, so Vanessa says, so which team are you supporting in the competition? Now, I have to say, it's always fun to watch games with your friends because you can always talk about, which team you're supporting, which team you're rooting for. Now, which team are you rooting for or supporting for the competition? What does it mean when I say competition? So that is a noun. A competition is a contest, game, or event where people or teams try to win by being better or faster than others. It is a situation where people or groups compete for the same prize, such as in sports, games, or business. An example sentence would be, Alicia is preparing for a running competition.
That's right. So now, Tim says, I always root for Argentina.
Hey, me too!
I love their style of play, and my favorite player, Martinez, is amazing. Plus, Argentina has such a strong track record. What about you? All right, so Martinez is amazing. So when something or someone is amazing, it means that it's something that causes great wonder, excitement, or amazement, meaning it makes you astonished. It makes you surprised at how good or great something is. So when you say that a soccer player is amazing, you mean that he's incredibly good. He's so good you almost can't believe it. You are surprised by how great he is. An example sentence, we had an amazing time on our vacation.
And remember, actually, Argentina, they won the last World Cup. So yes, I'm rooting for Argentina too. Okay, so let's go over to Hanny first and we will be right back.
在第二段对话里 ，Vanessa 他们聊到这次比赛支持的球队。Tim 说他一向都是帮阿根廷加油，他很喜欢他们踢球风格，而且呢，他最爱的球员马丁尼兹的表现更是了不起。再加上阿根廷过往的战绩一直都很强。好，补充一下 ，Argentina 就是阿根廷。对话里面用到这个 root for 加名词，是指为什么什么加油打气支持。Plus 在这边是指加上，而且或此外，这个用法常常是见于口语或者是非正式的文章当中。再来 track record， 它是表达过往的表现记录或者是战绩。再看到单字 competition， 名词它是指比赛、竞赛或竞争。它的动词是 compete 表示竞争、参加比赛。再看到 amazing， 它是形容极好的、非常出色的或是惊人的。它的名词是 amazement， 就可以表达惊奇、惊叹。这时候 Matt 老师还有提到 astonished， 它可以形容感到震惊的、惊讶的。那我们接回到对话中。
Thank you, Henny. And now we are back. Okay, let's go back to our dialogue. So now Vanessa says, I'm cheering for France. The team has had lots of success on the international stage recently. So I want to see them win again. Actually, last time the final was between Argentina and also France. Right? It was a really, really exciting game as well, right?
Yes, it's very exciting to see two of the top teams in the world come together in a final. All right, so now Tim says they've done well in previous World Cups. Let's see if they keep it up.
That's right. To see if they can keep it up, that means keep up their great performance, right? And now Vanessa says, there's lots of tough competition though. Brazil and Croatia usually do very well. That's true, because I have been watching the World Cup games. I think Brazil is also a very good team as well. Croatia as well, and also Portugal. Portugal is also a very good team as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of good teams out there, a lot of competition. competition for both Argentina and France.
That's true. Oh, I wonder who's gonna win. I don't know.
So now Tim says, you're right, but either way, I will keep supporting my favorite.
That's right. So Tim really likes Argentina. And now Vanessa says, definitely, I don't want to miss a single minute of the games. And I think a lot of people feel the same way too, because all the games are going to be very exciting. So everyone is going to be watching the games, maybe in their homes or maybe outside in, I don't know, in a restaurant or something. But everyone's going to be joining, right?
That's right. Okay, now it's time to go to Hanny.
Vanessa 说她会替法国队加油，那这支球队最近在国际上取得多次成功，所以希望能看到他们再次赢球。不过啊，这竞争非常激烈，像巴西跟克罗埃西亚通常也都表现很好。Tim 认同他所说的，那不管怎么样，他们都会各自支持自己爱的球队，不想要错过比赛的任何一个时刻。补充一下 ，Brazil 就是巴西 ，Croatia 表示克罗埃西亚。那我们直接回到对话中。
Thank you, Hanny. And now we are back. Okay, so from our dialogue right now, we know that Tim and Vanessa are talking about the teams that they're both supporting. So one is supporting Argentina, Vanessa is supporting France. So it's going to be very exciting to find out who really wins the game.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch the rest of this World Cup and see who becomes world champion.
Exactly. Okay, well, for now, let's review the dialogue again and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tim and Vanessa are talking about the 2026 World Cup.
Have you been following the World Cup news?
Yeah, there's so much tension and excitement. This one is really different from the previous tournaments.
Exactly. For starters, it's been hosted by 3 countries together. It's the first time in World Cup history.
Yeah, and aren't there 48 teams competing instead of the usual 32?
Right. More teams mean more matches and more chances for different countries to play. It's interesting to see unexpected teams shine and have their moment too.
Totally. I'm ready to keep watching and see how the rest of the matches play out.
Vanessa and Tim are discussing the teams they support.
So, which team are you supporting in the competition?
I always root for Argentina. I love their style of play, and my favorite player, Martinez, is amazing. Plus, Argentina has such a strong track record. What about you?
I'm cheering for France. The team has had lots of success on the international stage recently, so I want to see them win again.
They've done well in previous World Cups. Let's see if they keep it up.
There's lots of tough competition though. Brazil and Croatia usually do very well.
You're right, but either way, I will keep supporting my favorite.
Definitely. I don't want to miss a single minute of the games.
最后，我们来复习今天对话里的单字 tension 名词表示紧张、紧张关系或局势 ；previous 是形容之前的、早先的 ；competition 名词表示比赛、竞赛、竞争 ；amazing 是形容极好的、非常出色的或惊人的。那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
The saxophone is one of the most recognizable and popular woodwind instruments. But did you know there's a place in Taichung where you can learn more about it? Today, we're visiting the only story-based saxophone museum and sightseeing factory in Taiwan. Taiwan's saxophone industry began in Houli District, Taichung, and the area is now home to many saxophone stores. Lien-Cheng Musical Instrument Factory on Gong'an Road was originally a saxophone factory. In 2002, it established a saxophone museum that opened to the public. It features a concert hall on the first floor and an exhibition space on the second floor. You can join guided tours, learn about the history of saxophones, and even try playing one yourself. On holidays, you can enjoy live music in the concert hall while sipping a cup of coffee. You should also check out the restrooms, where the wash basins are shaped like the bell of a saxophone. Be sure to get a picture with these before you leave. So, if you're a saxophone fan and curious about Taiwan's saxophone industry, you won't want to miss the opportunity to visit the Saxophone Museum.